What is good, everyone out there? We're back with some more pro wrestling talk, man. And I see this jumping off in the blogosphere, a big debate right now about Adam Copeland, the rated R superstar, previously known as Edge, man. And everyone, first off, get in the comments and let me know if you've been happy to see Cope in AEW. If you're, you know, been enjoying his work over there, what AEW has done with him storyline wise and whatnot. You know, you guys remember the tail end of his time in WWE, if you recall. He didn't sign that contract, and everyone was waiting in the news what's going to happen with Edge, as he was still Edge then. Remember, he had that tough collab, the merch with the Toronto Maple Leafs. That itch was hard. That Maple Leafs stuff was fire, man. Looked clean as fuck. But it was like, is he going to retire? Is he going to go somewhere else? And a lot of people were calling it. He's going to go to AEW. There's going to be a reunion with Christian. Did they do anything storyline wise since he's been over there? I forget, man. I'm not going to lie. I watch AEW, but I don't follow it as tough as I'd like to. Time permitted and all that, man. But there was just no way. Edge, like after coming back, if you guys recall when he originally retired, that injury he had was serious. It looked like he was never going to get back in the ring. Like medically, it just wasn't going to be a thing that could happen. And when he came back, he's got himself in such amazing shape. He just couldn't let it go. He wanted to stay in the squared circle, and here he still is now. And you see this match with O'Reilly here. Everyone's saying, was this Copeland's fault or O'Reilly? Was Copeland's timing off? Is this a botch on his part? Do you consider this to be a major botch? Or is it O'Reilly's fault for not selling? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will say it's a little sloppy looking. It's not the cleanest exchange you want in a ring. But I've seen worse, but it's not pretty, okay? I'm just saying people are making this out to be like the ugliest botch, like just a total mess ever. And I see some people saying that a lot of the fans are hard on Copeland in AEW. Do you find that to be true? And what's your thoughts? But it's wild, man. I mean, listen, when you're still in the business, whatever it is, NFL players that stay over different generations or eras, I guess we could say, pro wrestling, whatever you're doing, even though I know some people are going to bust my balls, like you're talking about legitimate sports and sports entertainment, and don't you dare call it fake, okay? Don't disrespect the world of pro wrestling and what these guys do, putting their body on the line out there. This is not easy, not something anyone can do. Real wrestling fans know that, but what I'm getting at is things change and evolve, right? But in pro wrestling, when it comes to selling, because that's what other people are saying, you see in the debate that O'Reilly didn't sell properly. Edge is counting on him to sell a little bit, not just come right back off the rope like that. And I mean, listen, across the board, it seems nowadays selling is an art that just isn't up to snuff these days. I don't understand. Selling is key. It's a part of pro wrestling. It's got to be there. And I don't know. We're in this era nowadays where everyone talks about the finishers is something that gets brought up a lot now. Like, for instance, with that Cody Rhodes winning the title at WrestleMania, I saw Ryback saying this, and I know some people are going to bust my balls because Ryback is so hated on here. But for the record, I always put it out there. I'm not like a Ryback fan, but I don't hate him the way other people do. I just can't quite understand it, man. That sick, twisted stalker really, his sick emotions seem to bleed over through with the blogosphere. And I don't know, or maybe he's really responsible for 90% of the hate going from fake accounts. But I don't know if he's still locked up or not. I can't remember the update on that, but that's besides the point. What Ryback was saying is the way it all went down with the no sells on the finishers and all that, Cody Rhodes has to hit 3 crossroads pretty much now all the time after that. You know what I mean? Listen, there was times in the past where people have kicked out after a finish, but it's just getting ridiculous nowadays, man. And it gets a little crazy too with all matches having like so many false finishes and reversals, and everyone hits their finisher but still kicks out and hits their finisher again. You know, like that's what Ryback was saying on his show. Someone's gonna have to come out of a helicopter and hit their finish for the match to end. And he also was saying when he was in WWE, he made sure no one ever kicked out of his finisher. But there was one point in time where he had to do it. Vince told him to, but he said he was happy that at least the guy that did it was the Big Show, the biggest athlete in pro wrestling. You know what I mean? It's like Edge comes from that old era, and he still does great work in the ring and can put on a great show. But this no selling is just something that I don't even want to say evolved. It just totally changed for some of these guys that have been in the business. I mean, it's just got to be ludicrous to them out there, like a foreign concept. So in my opinion of all this, I'm going to say Edge timing was a little bit off, but the other dude just didn't sell at all. And you see this other clip playing where someone was saying AEW is the kings of no selling, as you see this transition where it's just back-to-back Canadian destroyers. I mean, it's like cool and all, but it just psychologically, pro wrestling psychology doesn't really make sense, and it's like this has happened so much to the point where it's just kind of crazy and no one can really make sense of anything anymore. And then you get a situation like what we saw right here with Edge. He's thinking, hey, this guy's going to sell for a brief moment before I hop up and take this clothesline. And he realized the dude doesn't and quickly recovers to take the clothesline. At the end of the day, like I said, it looked a bit sloppy. The timing was off, but I don't think it's as huge as a botch everyone's making it out to be. But I don't know, man. This is pro wrestling nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is what it's going to be, if the timing is going to be like that, guys really need to get together and talk it out before the matches. And choreograph it all, which we know, in my opinion, the greatest era of wrestling ever when I was coming up. We know a lot of guys were out there. Even promos were off the top. Dudes were maybe had some bullet points, but they were freestyling for the most part. Knowing they had 2 minutes on the mic or 90 seconds on the mic or 3 minutes on the mic or whatever. And same thing with matches. They had a time limit that they figured they had to stay within. And maybe they had a couple spots that they wanted to do, but they could go out there and just do it in real time like that. And it's just a totally different business nowadays. So with all that being said, again, everyone, hop in the comments your thoughts about this AEW run Edge has been having. Are the fans a bit rough on him over there? What do you think about the no selling and everything like that? And, this botch out there, your thoughts, who's at fault? And do you think it was that big of a botch, or is it being blown out of proportion, or what? Let's talk about it all in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and stay tuned for more pro wrestling talk and news. I'm out of here. Peace.